Good afternoon everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Wednesday the 3rd of May 2023 and tonight I'm heading to the Stadium of Light for the Durham Challenge Cup final. It is Hebburn Town versus Spennymoor Town. Now both of these teams have suffered a playoff related heartbreak in the last week or so, and both will be going into this game tonight looking to end their seasons on a high with a bit of silverware. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's head on up to Sunderland. So here I'm in Sunderland, and as I've mentioned already, both of these sides have suffered playoff related heartache within the last 8 days, starting with Hebburn, who finished 3rd in the Northern Premier League East Division table, but were then beaten on penalties in the playoff semi-final by Long Eaton United, which really must have stung them. I mean, as we saw with Billingham Town in the Northern League Division 2 playoff final on Monday, the playoffs can be absolutely heartbreaking, and that must have been an absolute gutter for them, especially considering they finished above Long Eaton in the table. I think that's when it hurts even more, is when you know you've been better than the team that beat you over the course of the season, but when it's come down to it, they're the ones that have progressed, and as it happens, Long Eaton went on to beat Stockton in the playoff final as well, who of course Stockton finished second, but that's just the playoffs for you. It's more about who carries the form into them rather than where you actually finish in the table. But as for Spennymoor, they finished 9th in the National League North table. They were a part of the absolute chaos on the final day of the season and ultimately just missed out. But for large sort of periods of time on the last day of the season, they were occupying that last playoff spot. And look, they did what they needed to do on Saturday. They got their game won against Farsley Celtic, but just happened to slip away from them late on with late goals, firstly from Scarborough against Banbury, then Gloucester against Chorley, and it was Gloucester who claimed that last playoff spot. And if Spenny had got it, this game wouldn't actually be going ahead tonight. It would have been forced into a postponement, and Spenny, as we speak, would probably be on the way down to Brackley or somewhere like that. But as it is, they just missed out, but it was out of hands anyway, and as I say, they did what they needed to do. But this game tonight provides both teams with a chance to sort of salvage something from their seasons, and there's a bit of a sense of solace in it for Hebburn actually. Of course, 2 years ago today it was, they played the delayed 2019 to 2020 FA Vars final at Wembley, but in what was a massive kick in the teeth to their fans. The game was behind closed doors, and they missed out on the chance to see their team on the big stage. I mean, especially considering at that time there was various test events going on with spectators. It's absolutely ludicrous why that wasn't selected as one of them, but they get the chance to see the team in a big stadium tonight. This will be a good experience for them, and it'll be a good experience for the Spennymoor fans as well. You've got to remember, this isn't the sort of stadium that fans of either club would be going to normally, so it should be good for both teams. Of course, Hebburn probably will put out a full team. As for Spenny, it's going to be a bit more interesting in terms of team selection. Will sort of go with the young lads who, let's face it, are probably the ones that have got them to this point, or will just full on go for it, like playing the likes of Blackett, Taylor, Ramshaw, Tate, Lafudu. It's going to be very interesting to find out, but all the same, it makes for a good match tonight. Let's head down to the Stadium of Light and find out how it all unfolds. So the team's warming up. Hebburn getting ready just down here. They're going to be in their usual yellow and black this evening, and Spenny getting ready just here. Looks like they may be in a change for this evening. Of course, usually they'd be in black and white, but looks like they may be going for maybe red this evening. So they have made one or two changes, not like full strength, but still relatively strong. Anyway, I will see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel.
Will you please welcome your two teams to tonight's Durham County FA Great Boxing Challenge final, Hebburn Town and Spennymoor Town.
Oh no.
Tom Devitt got one over the bar.
Half-time here at the Stadium of Light.
Half-time, Hebburn Town 0, Spennymoor Town 1. Spenny lead, but it certainly isn't without Hebburn giving him like one or two things to think about. In fact, I actually think Hebburn have played pretty well, but I think it is, as the half progressed, it was starting to tell a little bit that Spenny do have that extra bit of quality, and look, that's why they play 2 leagues higher than what Hebburn do. But the thing is, Hebburn are still in the game. I think they can take a fair amount of encouragement from their overall first half display. I mean, it's a really weird atmosphere. I mean, granted, it's good for the fans to see their team playing at such a stadium for the place to play in it, but the atmosphere is getting a little bit lost a bit. It's making me think, would maybe Hartlepool have been a better choice for this kind of game. I mean, it's all hindsight, and at the end of the day, they've picked Sunderland, and it is what it is. But there's still a long way to go in this game yet. I think if Spenny can get the next goal, and that probably would kill the game off. But Hebburn just may as well just show enough here, just keep having a go and just see where it leads them.
Of added time at the end of this game.
The fourth official has the score after 90 minutes.
End of 90 minutes, Hebburn Town 1, Spennymoor Town 1. It's going to be penalties to decide it, although to be fair, I think Hebburn good value for at least a penalty shootout. Of course, last week in the playoffs they had their hearts broken in a penalty shootout. Can they have a bit of redemption from 12 yards? Let's find out. So it's Spennymoor to go first. How much of a run up's he taking?
advantage, Hebburn. That is a good penalty, to be fair.
This is more important.
Oh yes, this is the biggest football match in the world, this.
They're good.
Match point, Hebburn. Spenny have to score the next one. Has to score. Weird run up. Still, Hebburn score, and they have won. This for the Durham Challenge Cup for Hebburn. He scored!
The 2023 champions of the Durham County FA Frank Patterson Challenge Cup, Hebburn Town!
Redemption for them after last week.
And our fourth official, Mr. James Westgate.
You can tell they really don't want these medals. Yeah.
Champions of the Durham Challenge Cup. Frank Patterson, Durham County FA Challenge Cup, it is Hebburn Town. The 2023 Durham County FA Frank Patterson Challenge Cup winners, Hebburn Town!
Full time, Hebburn Town 1, Spennymoor Town 1, with Hebburn Town winning 5-4. on penalties. I've got to say I'm really pleased for Hebburn there, because I thought they, as I said at half time, and I think at full time as well, I thought they were really good tonight, and they certainly matched a team that were 2 leagues above them, that fielded a team that most of which get regular starts in the National League North, and they've gone toe to toe with them. They hung in there when they needed to. The substitutions they made towards the end of the game worked an absolute treat, and I think in the end they got their just rewards for that by nabbing the equaliser, taking the game to penalties. I mean, Spenny were obviously a little bit unlucky in the shootout. It was the one that was saved that has cost them tonight, but I think what you can say for them is throughout the 90 minutes you could tell that they were maybe a little bit light up front, because there was a real lack of cutting edge. I think if they'd had at least one of Taylor or Blackett on, then that probably would have been enough for them to have gone on and got the game won. But take nothing away from Hebburn at all. I mean, I just can't imagine how devastated they must have been feeling for this last week or so. So that has probably numbed the pain for them, and as well with it being a penalty shootout, it's a real sort of form of redemption. And as I alluded to earlier, 2 years ago today, the fans were forced to watch the FA Vars final from home, and obviously now would have they've seen the team on the big stage, and they've seen a win on the big stage, so they've maybe put that wrong right to a certain degree. So yeah, I think Hebburn once again next season, I fancy them to be up there. Whether they'll win the league or not is going to be a different story, because obviously you've got you've got the likes of Stockton that have missed out in the playoffs a couple of years in a row. I think Dunstan are only getting stronger. I'm sure there'll be someone that'll come up from step 5 and will maybe take the league by storm a little bit, but all the same I do fancy them to be up there and maybe at the very least get playoffs once again. As for Spenny, a very disappointing end to the season for them. I thought they'd maybe come into this tonight on the back of Saturday. Obviously they did win on Saturday, but ultimately it wasn't enough for them to claim one of the final playoff spots, and I thought at least tonight they'd sort of go into it sort of all guns blazing to end the season on a high, but it wasn't to be for them, and maybe in a way the odds have been overturned a bit in the Durham Challenge Cup, given that there is 2 leagues between them, and yet Hebburn have done a number on them. So congratulations to Hebburn. I hope they enjoy this feeling right now, but that is that for this video, and I'll be back tomorrow with the monthly update video for the channel. So until then, take care, cheers for watching, and I'll see you later.